Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. And Tony says hello to you as well, too. He's right here next to me. September 25th, 2025. Great to be with all of you today. My name is Bob Lang, and here's Tony Baker Lang right here next to me saying hello. Another down day today, looks like. Yesterday, sharp down day, followed up from a down Tuesday, following an up Monday. So it's been a lot of volatility coming to the markets this week. We see the VIX is up close to a point today of around 17%. We did see the markets down yesterday, but the VIX went down as well, too. That was kind of a sign that people were still buying protection. We did see the put call ratio rise up a little bit yesterday, not too much. That indicator is still on a buy signal. Breadth, though, poor, very, very poor. And we can thank the small cap Russell 2000 for that favor. Of course, the Russell 2000 is a very, very large, broad index that tells us the strength of the buyers and the sellers, not necessarily related to the price action, but how many issues are running up higher and versus how many issues are running up lower. Now, if you look at the breadth from a new highs, new low perspective, that indicator remains on a buy signal. It's an intermediate indicator that we see far more new highs than new lows. I think over 200 new highs yesterday versus new lows. So that as long as that stays above 100, that indicator is still on a strong buy signal. S&P 500 still up nicely for the year. Russell 2000 still up about 8%. We've seen the other indices as well too. NASDAQ still up about 15% on the year. So it's not a surprise that we get a little bit of a pullback here. September, usually a month that's very, very difficult for the markets, but it hasn't been so far, save for the last couple of days. We have about 4 trading days left in the month of September. We have today, tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. And then next week, we'll be starting a new month of October, of course, with the jobs report coming out next week, too. It would be very interesting to hear. Chair Powell talked on Tuesday, and he didn't really mince words at his speech on Tuesday, but he did reiterate some of the language that he mentioned in the press conference after last week's Fed meeting. He also did say that he thought that equities were a little bit overvalued, which harkened back to a 1996 speech from Alan Greenspan when he said there was irrational exuberance in the markets. And of course, from that point, markets took off to the upside for the next 3 years after Chairman Greenspan's famous speech on irrational exuberance. So is that going to be the case this time around? Everything's a little bit different. History rhymes, but it never repeats itself, right? So as I've been saying for the last few days, especially in the chat room, out on Twitter, out on anywhere else, you got to use a little bit of caution. You got to use a little bit of common sense over here. You can't be greedy. You can't say to yourself, well, I'm just going to continue to grab while the market is giving out prizes and presents, right? You can't keep grabbing at that stuff. You have to use a little bit of caution. Say nor again, we're in a seasonally weak period right now for the markets. We're in a window of time where there was an old saying back in the day called "Sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur." Well, we're still in that window of time for Rosh Hashanah, 10 days until October 2nd, and when maybe the buyers will come back then. Maybe the markets will be oversold enough to rally back. But as it is right now, checking out the oscillators, you can see here we did have a mixed group of oscillators just a couple of days ago. Now we're firmly in the negative, negative 82 on the NYSE, negative 33 on the NASDAQ. So that's a sign right there, right? You have to take these signals and understand that when there is a signal, you take the trade. When there is a condition, you observe and pay attention to what's going on. So last week we had conditions of overbought conditions, and once we rolled over a couple of days ago into today, that's when you had to take some action and start buying some puts, which is what we did. So that being said, pay attention to what's going on in the markets over here. We had some earnings reports coming out this morning: Accenture, J-Bill, CarMax later tonight. We'll hear from Costco, and nothing really tomorrow, but other than the PCE number, which is coming out before the open. That one is over here. Personal income and spending, personal consumption expenditure index will be coming out, looking for a 0.3 move up month over month for the month of August. Core PCE looking for a 0.2. That's still a little bit hotter than the Fed was looking for. And core PC 2.9. So I think that no matter what this number looks like, if the market is weak going in, if it's a good print, the markets may go down. If it's a bad print, the markets may go down. All right. So use some caution, use some logic, use some common sense, and protect yourself in all situations, in all scenarios. Have a great day, everyone. Appreciate everyone spending a little time with me. I'll see you guys all back on Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. It's raining here in New England. Hopefully it'll dry out a little bit later on this weekend. We'll have be able to enjoy a nice weekend. Last probably first weekend of fall. And see you guys all Monday. Take care. Bye.